Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. So it's been a while since I've done an update on my frag tank system for my 187 gallon tank. And just to refresh everyone's memories, I have this 75 gallon frag tank. It's a custom coast to coast aquariums frag tank, as well as this 50 gallon C2C custom frag tank plumbed into my 187 gallon tank. And as you can see from this video, my 187 gallon tank was in need of a large trim in terms of the SPS. So I did a ton of fragging a couple of weeks ago. And now these frag tanks are chock full. Tanks are looking clean because I spent about an hour before this video just scraping off the coralline and cleaning them up. You know, you don't want sloppy looking frag tanks before you do a video about them, so I kind of tidied them up a little bit. But so this 75 gallon tank is my grow out tank primarily. I primarily grow out colonies, and I'm really excited about some of the colonies in here that have grown out and are now fraggable. This Milka stylo is just getting huge, and it's such a beautiful coral, so I've been fragging that. I love this ATL Strawberry Fields. It's a classic, old school SPS coral. It tables out. It's got those cool little, I guess you would call them strawberry colored tips. I'm putting a frag of that in my new 225 gallon tank. I love it. So I've been fragging that for a while. This Jason Fox bug out stylo I've been fragging. If you're into stylos, that thing is just freaking awesome. This is a BC Cool No Name. I got it from Adam a while ago, and I love it. It's got kind of like these purplish branches with green polyps. Just a really cool contrast. You know, back in there, I've got my Jackson's Rainbow Tenuous. That's a little mini colony. I had this one on a frag plug, and that's just been growing crazy. So that thing has been really doing very well for me in this grow out tank. Right behind the Milka Stylo is this BC Hyperberry, and I've had this for a few years, and it just suddenly has been, the last several months, been taking off on me. So now I'm able to frag that. Really excited about that. This is a Jason Fox piece. Frankie's Kryptonite Acro, I think it's what it's called. Jason's Fox Frankie. I don't know what the name behind the name on that one is, but that's another cool coral. A lot of tub Stiletta Montes, ATL, Forest Fire Digis. I've got a cool pink Millipora that's growing out. A Superman table. I got a home wrecker. I got a Jason Fox home wrecker that's kind of getting close to growing out. A Tyree Superman Tenuous. And I've even got a frag now that I cut from my display tank of the Tyree Purple Monster that's on a tile that's finally growing out for me. It took a while, but I was able to hack a piece off in that main colony, which was essentially just encrusting like crazy in my display tank. But now it's starting to sprout some branches in the frag tank. Really excited about that. The Sanjay's Leprechaun's Beard is just going crazy. Again, I love that because it's table-like and it's really hairy. It's got those green wavy polyps, so that's really cool. Another new coral that I'm starting to frag out is this what's called a blue boy table. It's pretty wild. It's a blue table. I mean, how often do you see a blue table? And it's got these orangey polyps. Again, that's another frag that I'm putting in my 225 gallon Peninsula tank to try to grow that out as well. Then over here, I've got this classic Crayola Plana coral that just does really well for me in this tank. And right here, the Walt Disney grows like a weed for me. Love that coral, really colorful, tenuous coral in this tank. So the 50 gallon is primarily where I have all the frags. And this has really been my kind of like WYSIWYG tank. On my website I have this WYSIWYG section with some frags. And in fact, right now I've got a nice Father's Day sale going on, 25% 20% off, not 25%. 20% off on all the WYSIWYG Frags. That's going on through Father's Day. I'll put a link in the video description below, along with a code. But this tank was interesting for me in terms of trying to get the optimal flow. So initially I had two MP40s. I had an MP40 here, and I think I had another MP40 in the back. And it was just really blowing the crap out of all the frags, the two MP40s. So I had to kind of, make sure I tucked this one in the corner. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to have some good flow underneath the frag racks, because a lot of detritus can build up underneath these frag racks. And in fact, every week, not only in this tank, but in this tank, I pull out the frag racks and I just siphon all the detritus out on the bottom. I mean, you can see there's really good flow in this tank going here as well. And now I've got some great flow going in this tank, but I siphon out the detritus once a week. But what was really a game changer for me in terms of flow for this tank was this gyro that you see right here on the side. It's the Gyre XF350. And what I really like about this, I think it's over 5,000 gallons per hour. So for a 50-gallon tank, it's really cranking. But what I love are these hoods that could just direct flow underneath the racks. And it's doing a great job for me in that regard. It's really shooting the flow underneath. So much less detritus is collecting underneath, which is just perfect. Really, really happy about the configuration at this point. And again, for that gyro, I'll put a link in the video description below for more information about that. The other thing I want to mention about these two frag tanks is the plumbing. Initially, I had these tanks all plumbed into the same return pump. I have two return pumps, my Dreambox here, 200-watt return pumps. And initially, I had both frag tanks plumbed into the same return pump, and you can kind of see all the plumbing running along the wall down the side, and you can kind of see this piece of plumbing right here, which is cut off. I don't know how well you can see it with the lighting, but I changed things up a number of months ago, because when I cut the power, I was kind of getting some weird back siphoning things going on with both tanks, and the flow wasn't really what it needed to be, just in terms of what was cranking through the returns. So I have two return pumps, and I figured the best solution, even though it was going to be a pain in the ass, plumbing-wise, was to put each tank on a separate return pump. So I did that. I spent several hours doing it, and each tank now is plumbed in to a different return pump. Creates more flow in that return for each tank, and it's just a better system. I don't have that strange back siphoning going on when the power is cut, and that's important to me, because if I'm not home, I'm on vacation or something like that, and I lose power, even though I do have a full house backup generator which will kick the power on automatically, it still was an issue that needed to be addressed. So it's much more efficient in terms of the plumbing. Well, that'll do it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I also want to remind you about my premium SPS frag store on reefbum.com. I will leave a link in the video description below. I will also leave links for my equipment store. I do sell GHL, Royal Exclusiv, and Bellum equipment, as well as Reef, Octopus, calcium, and Kalk reactors. Many of these products I do use personally on my tanks. Until next time, be safe and be well. Later.